So I asked 100 people, who was the best 160-pound wrestler in the state of Kentucky in 1994? Survey says Tendai Charasika of St. Xavier High School. I'm here today with Tendai. Tendai, man, thank you for having me. Yeah. This is your business office. Thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Love it, Alex.
And you don't know, Tendai is a 3-time state champion, 1994, 1995, 1996. We have all 3 of his videos. We're going to be doing reviews on all 3 of them in separate videos, so be sure to follow the playlist down when you finish this video. So, Tendai, kind of walk us through, how does a young Tendai find wrestling? How does wrestling find you?
Yeah. I was very fortunate. So about my 7th grade year, at that point in time in middle school, I was going to a small private school called Kentucky Country Day, and it was kindergarten through 12th grade. And I was trying out, not even really trying out, but I was playing basketball. And there was 2 seniors at the time, a guy named Jaleel Button, and then a guy named Mark Fergone, both great wrestlers in their own right. One stayed at KCD, Mark Fergone, another one, Jaleel Button, now has a music group out of New York, but he finished up at Atherton. And those guys saw me playing basketball, and they said, hey, look, man, you're not going to keep doing this. You're going to come wrestle for us. And so I credit those 2 guys with getting me into wrestling in 7th grade.
That's all.
And I had the opportunity to wrestle varsity, really not because I was any good. In fact, the 7th and 8th grade years were real tough. And but it got me in the mode of it and had to wrestle older guys and get going.
Well, you sure made up for those 7th and 8th grade years, as you're going to see. Now, I made a little slight reference to the Family Feud. If you don't know, Tendai is a Family Feud star. And funny story, this is real quick. I met Tendai the Sunday of the youth state. Monday evening, I go to my parents' house for dinner. Tendai and his family's on. Steve Harvey can't pronounce Charasika. I was wanting to come through the TV and be like, Steve, hey, listen, you don't know who you're messing with here. You don't know what you're about to get your hands on. But that was just a little, we talked off camera about that. But Tendai, when you look at the 1994 season, before we go through your bracket, you're a sophomore at St. Xavier. Does anything besides the state tournament kind of stick out? Like any matches, any people you wrestled, anything of that nature?
No, I think the biggest thing is, so in my 94 year, my sophomore year, I actually had transferred into St. X and was fortunate enough that Paul Thompson was my original coach at KCD. He wrestled over at Oldham County. Rest in peace, Paul, but he was a great wrestler and taught me a lot of the basics and the energy level and the aggressiveness and how to kind of hone that. So he really got me started on that end. But then when I went to St. X, really entered into an opportunity with 3 great coaches, Coach Kresig, Coach Willman, Coach Gehring, and then just a room full of great wrestlers. And so I think that's what really accelerated my development and gave me an opportunity to be even more competitive.
Well, of course, as always, we've got the bracket here. Now, the first round, you wrestle George Hurley from Covington Scott. You win that by a fall. It does not have the time. You go to the quarterfinals. You wrestle Jeremy Arnold from Woodford County. Jeremy ended up placing 6th that year. Says you win a 6-2 decision. In the semifinals, you wrestle TJ Iverson from Hoptown. TJ ended up coming in 3rd that year, and it says that you win a 9-3 decision on that match. Now, I'm not sure if this is your overall record or your record going into the state finals. It says you're 30-3. Does that sound about right?
That sounds about right. So progressively, I know as I started out, 7th grade year had a losing record. 8th grade year had a winning record. Just by a small margin of a couple matches. And then 9th grade year, I finished 5th in state. And so sophomore year, that probably would have made sense that the losses really shrunk down. But there's probably still 1 or 2 guys out there that bested me.
I can understand that. And that's something, too, I'm glad you said that about wrestling is you're not going to come into wrestling and be a state champion right off the bat.
No, yeah.
I mean, there might be an exception that just is an absolute animal or what, but for the most part, you're not going to come in with an undefeated or even maybe even a winning record right off the bat. But you get to the state finals, you're wrestling Archie Stepp.
Yeah.
Now, Archie was the 1992 state runner-up. He was the 1993 145-pound state championship, or one state championship for Joan Clark. And then 1994 160 pounds, you guys meet in the state finals, and you said off camera you never wrestled Archie. I'm sure you probably watched him at the state finals that year.
Yeah.
Going in, what did you think about Archie? What was your game plan? I mean, just kind of give us a little.
Yeah, absolutely. So I remember that. So kind of going in, I'd done and like I really did with every wrestler that I wrestled was just try to do a little bit of background on the wrestler and just obviously study the wrestlers and what their strengths and weaknesses were. And so Archie came with a lot of fanfare. I had done research on him before, and I think he had been named to sort of a national publication for his wrestling achievements. So I knew he was star-studded, and I think at the time, I'm not sure if his record's on there, but I think he was maybe undefeated at the time.
It says 45-0.
45-0, yeah. So I remember that. So he was 45-0, and tall, lanky style wrestler, but at that time, Sheldon Clark was one of the top teams in the state and had been consistently them in Woodford County along the way there. And so I knew that he was coming from a great pedigree and great wrestling background and culture. I knew he was going to be a tough wrestler, technically sound, but I also knew that he was taller than me, and that really helped, and I felt like I could maybe outquick him a little bit as well. So, and I was a pretty aggressive wrestler naturally, so I always felt confident in my ability to be a little bit more aggressive and tenacious out on the mat.
Now, Sheldon Clark, team-wise, wins the 1994 state championship. Bruce Stepp wins the we've done a video with Bruce. You need to go watch it. Bruce wins the heavyweight state championship. Sheldon Clark had 2 or 3 other guys in the finals that year. But Tendai told me he has never seen himself wrestle.
No.
So this is going to be a first. So was that 28 years later?
Yeah.
28 years later,
much.
man.
Yep.
All right. So I'm not exactly familiar with the Louisville geography. How far is Atherton High School from here?
So Atherton is about 15, 20 minutes from here. We're in the east end of Louisville right now, so Atherton is off Bardstown Road.
Okay. I was going to say, let's make that 15-minute trip. Let's make that 28-year. Let's get in our DeLorean, go back in the time machine, and watch Tendai win this 1994 state championship. You guys are seeing what we're seeing. Boys wrestling, the finals, 160 pounds. Archie Stepp versus Tendai Charasika. You ready to watch this?
I'm ready.
Let's go, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, so I knew he had that long reach.
Right.
He always had that long reach, and I'll try to set him up here.
It's always good when wrestlers have the right color singlets. You got a red and a green. It's always good for referees on my end. Trust me.
You're right. I love that inside position too.
Yeah.
I always liked inside position coming off the biceps.
Speaking of biceps, Tendai's question on Family Feud was name something that you flex. I told him if he didn't get it, Steve Harvey was in trouble. There you go, pulling that head down.
Yep. I love duck unders. Were a really good move for me. Try to set it up on the inside here. Just kind of stalk, keep it in the middle. But I was trying to time up his reach. So when he would reach, I would try to go.
Right.
But he was so tall and lanky, you're going to have to time it up just right.
Headgears come off.
Yeah, headgears off. I think they almost want to start trying to call us for stalling a little bit, but working that wrist control. See, I'm trying to set him up now. I love the... I'll try to grab the wrist and pull. Here. There we go. Got it. Boom. Boom. Yeah. So I just try to time it up.
1, 2,
and
3,
and
4.
And try to keep that balance.
5. No, you got him right here. What are we thinking?
I'm thinking, I'm trying not to get turned. I know he's so tall and lanky, he can push with that outside leg.
Right.
So I'm just trying to keep my balance. And then now try to settle back in there. But at this point, I'm just saying, hey, and what I try to do is get that last leg and try to bring it back. And, but at this point, look how flexible he is.
Oh, yeah.
Look how flexible. He's so tall, so lanky, I couldn't keep it. But I wanted to get as many points as I possibly could. And then break.
I got it 5-1.
5-1 at this point. 2 down, 2 points takedown, 3 on back points. So here, this is stand-up. So Paul Thompson, my coach when I started wrestling at KCD, really taught me that to have a mindset that no one can take me down. So you see what he's trying to banana split me.
Split right there.
And not going to happen. I'm not letting that happen.
Not with those legs.
Not with the legs, not with my base. I'm not going to let that happen. But that was one of his moves.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, fine, we'll be there. But my mentality as a wrestler was that no one can hold me on bottom. Right. It was just that mindset that I was going to stand up and get out every time. So
mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed when people wanted to be on top because I knew eventually I'm going to get out. I'm going to get my 1 point, if not 2 or more. It was just a matter of time. So always had a nice, good base, try to work the hands. So boom, I knew it. Yeah. So I felt confident I was going to be able to get out. So now back at it. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm trying to set that up again. Probably getting a little bit winded. But now I'm just kind of pressing him off a little bit, trying to get a little bit of wind. We're going to keep working it. So I think at this point it's probably 6-1 in the match.
Yeah, that's what I've got there, 6-1.
Yeah, lazy shot on my part there.
Oh,
yeah.
So I was gonna say, I seen the killer instinct going after him, man. He was going.
Yes.
All right,
so they're going to get me for stalling a little bit here. I do remember that. But again, and so, knowing where I'm at, second.
Oh, no.
I don't even remember that.
That's what I was going to ask you.
I don't even remember that. Gosh.
So, it was a pole.
That's crazy. I don't even remember that. That's nuts. That's, but he might have poked me. Like I said, he always liked to. He has that long extension, and so he might have just timed it up just right where I'm coming in, and he's reaching. I don't think he did it on purpose by any means. So
one thing about when this shot pause, look where this at. I mean, look at the crowd.
I love beautiful. It. Old Atherton High School, but also I recovered from that, so that's good. And keep going. I might have slowed me down a little bit. Oof. Oh, there we're back in. Oh man, if I could have just wrapped up around those legs. I love doubles. So I'm inside position again. Boom. Oh, man. Yeah. So now it's, we're wearing on here, but that inside position, like I said, he's tall, lanky, broad-chested. So if I could get in underneath him, there's a couple of times there where I can just, felt like pretty strong there. But again, my sprawls were pretty strong. Mm-hmm. Felt like I was going to be able to get my hips back. You'll see here that I did a neutral position, it looks like.
An optional start?
Yep, I didn't want to wrestle him. I didn't want to be on top. Mm-hmm. I knew he was going to be a big, strong wrestler, so I was willing strategically to give up a point.
Right.
I think at this point we might have been 6-3 at this point. But I was willing to give up a point and be on our feet to finish out the match. And they're going to get me 6-4. Ooh. That's fine. And, frankly, at this point, I think in the match as a sophomore, I didn't want to do anything that was going to put the match in jeopardy. And so I didn't want to, I probably got a little risk adverse. And but there we go. I've got to do enough just to kind of keep the match going.
Yeah.
I need to get my legs back. I'm tired. I'm probably winded. You see that?
Oh.
Yeah, he got me. Okay. Wow. I don't even remember that. Wow. Okay, so he lets me back up. So I'm not even sure what the score is at this point because for him to let me back up. Wow.
It possibly is 7-6.
Yes.
And I think he's trying to get a takedown to get that win.
So, and again, we got to know he's going to get me for stalling again.
Oh.
Wow. Wow. So what is that? 3 stalling calls?
That's 3.
3 stalling calls.
Two
so I've got to. Woo.
I think it might be tied now.
Okay, so
I think we might
there we go. So
7,
got it. Boom.
Oh.
Boom. Fine. You want some? Got it. Yes.
You got your 2.
I got my 2.
We're out.
So I don't want anything. I want no part of him on bottom. I've totally lost track of the score here.
I'm thinking.
But he tried to trip, so he was so tall and lanky.
And
I'm doing edge of mat. Did they get me stalling again? Let's see.
I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think there it is. That's it. Yeah. Name something you flex, Tendai. Your muscles, baby.
That was sophomore year, and I didn't think I was going to be able to do it.
There you're on top of the podium.
On top of the podium. And he's a great wrestler. Great wrestler there.
He sure is. He's from what I've seen.
Yes, he was incredible. He's incredible.
Do you still have your medal and stuff?
I do. They're at my mom's house, so my mom has all my trophies from all my different sports that I was doing, and she's got them all in a nice little cabinet and showcase. So she's got all of that.
Looking back on it, first time you've seen it, all this years later.
Yeah.
Just kind of give us what's fresh on your mind about it. Anything that you didn't remember, anything that you thought played out differently?
Yeah, I'll tell you. So first of all, I've got a lot of emotion going on right now. I'm got a little jittery inside, and excited, and obviously reminiscent. Very emotional time. I mean, that was a state championship against a great competitor that no one thought I was going to beat him going into that. And so, obviously everybody's goal going into it is a state championship. But and then that match was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be in my mind. It's as we see it.
Let me get the paper.
Yeah.
I don't think I read the score. It says the final score was 9-7.
9-7. So
9-7.
It was a lot closer. That match was a lot more I'll say in jeopardy than as I remember it, with the stalling call. So I think we had 3 stalling calls against me, and so I gave up 3 points right there. I didn't realize that he had taken me down. Not a lot of guys had gotten to the point in wrestling where not a lot of guys were able to take me down. So he was able to take me down, get 2 points there. So I don't remember that. And then of course the eye injury there, a poke, obviously can take some wind out of anybody, but. So those are all things that I hadn't remembered, and so those are good to see.
Well, we're going to put a bow on this one and wrap it up. Now, like I said, the first of the video, Tendai's a 3 times, so guess what that means? We got 2 more videos to do. The 1995 and 1996 are below this one in the playlist, so you got to go watch them, especially that 1996 video. I can't wait to get to that one. But we're going to wrap this one up, end it, and get started on the 1995. But if we don't see you before then, we'll see you guys on the mats.
Thanks a lot.